Waters. Jamina Waters, Teenage Mutant Diva Daughter. Teenage Mutant Diva Daughter, Jamina Waters.
I want to tell you a story about the most beautiful girl ever born, and her name was Christian Hart. She was stunning, just like her mom. And even the twos weren't terrible for Christian Hart. I mean, her name is Christian Hart. And as she grew up, she was just more stunning and more perfect and more beautiful than any other thing that I had ever seen. But as she got closer to the age of 13, I started hearing rumors about some type of mutation that was happening amongst other teenagers in the land. I thought, no, it can't be, not Christian Hart. So on her 13th birthday, she was beautiful. She had a frilly dress and beautiful pigtails, and she was just perfect. So that night when I tucked her into bed, I kissed her and I gave her a hug and I left out of her bedroom. As I walked down the hall, I heard a commotion in her room, and I saw lights flashing from under her door. And I slowly crept into her room, and what I saw to my dismay, my daughter was transforming. She was mutating before my very eyes. Her breasts were bulging, and her hips were expanding, and her gluteus became Maximus. Christian, is that makeup? Christian Hart, are you wearing eyelash extensions? Christian Hart, is that hair extensions? Do I see your stomach? Is that a halter top? Oh my goodness, my daughter had transformed. She had changed into a teenage mutant diva daughter. And this mutation came with special powers. She could roll her eyes at a speed that was not humanly possible. And something must have happened with her skin because it was so sensitive. She didn't want my hugs and kisses anymore. And she had these crying fits. We had to get flood insurance. And she had the power of invisibility. She could go in her room and disappear for days. I prayed to have my daughter back. I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed. She was still a demon. So we went through dances and drama and dating and cell phones. And eventually, Christian Hart, although she was a mutant, she graduated from high school, and we sent her off to a special school. You know those schools like in the X-Men movie, Dr. Xavier's mutant school? We sent her to a mutant university, and she thrived there in mutant university amongst her own kind. And that weekend, she came home, and I was in my room, and she was in hers, and I saw some type of creature in my room. It was a fairy. And she came to me and said, I am the hormone fairy. I have come to give you your daughter back. And before I could say anything, she whisked me off into Christian's room and she said these words, FH, LH, estrogen, progesterone. And out of the smoke and the dust, I see my daughter Christian. She is no longer a mutant. And we held each other and we hugged. And I said, thank you, hormone fairy, wherever you are, for giving me my daughter back, for she had disappeared. So parents, never be worried. If you have a teenager who has mutated and absolutely lost their minds, you too, a myth, a tall tale, if you will, about a mutation that happens to women my age. That's no myth or a mutation. Hot flashes and night sweats and loose sweats. There's no such mutation.